it's time for Toker Talk Radio, the voice of the marijuana nation.
What are you people? On dope?
Where you can toke.
I inhaled frequently.
Or you can talk.
I experimented with marijuana and didn't inhale.
Or you can toke and talk.
10 federal criminal penalties for possession of up to 1 ounce of marijuana.
While we talk about toke on Toker Talk Radio.
So, by the way, when it comes to pot, if you're 40 years old, you live in a log cabin in Oregon, you got 12 giant pot plants in your backyard, have a ball.
Live from beautiful Portland, Oregon at Rolla J Studios.
Hey, this is great.
Yes, not cannabis. Plus your calls live at 971-533-7111.
They're walking on their pants with their cap on backwards, listening to Enema Man and Snoopy Poop Dog.
What's to keep somebody from getting all potted up on weed and then getting behind the wheel? Gateway theory doesn't work. It's a reality.
Holland, is it real? Don't tease me.
We're locking up people that take a couple of puffs of marijuana, and the next thing you know, they got 10 years.
And now, here's your host, the guru of ganja graphics, the sultan of sativa statistics, and the worst nightmare of a reefer mad prohibitionist. A polite, perspicacious, productive pothead with a propensity for PowerPoint. Radical Russ Belville.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. Except for one thing. I was reading another one of those cracked things where they put the memes up,
Uh-huh.
Everyone expected the Spanish Inquisition.
Well,
the Spanish Inquisition gave 30 to 45 days written notice before it showed up somewhere.
Yeah, I know. That's why they satired it in Monty Python. They were like, no one expects the Spanish Inquisition because everybody knew they were freaking on their way.
Ah, I see. The brilliance of the Pythons once again shines through.
He's still getting it.
I love it. Still getting it all these years later. Welcome to the show, Toker Talk Radio. We are having ourselves a good time here today, and I want to say hi there, to NorCal Kid for stopping by.
Right on. Yeah.
How you doing?
Hanging out in the chat room.
Wait a minute. Let me get this the way it should be. Hold on.
You want to get it low?
Because she has touched my boob,
Oh.
Yeah, she's a boob toucher. You got to watch that girl. She will touch your boob. So hold on. Hey there. Thanks for stopping on in. It's so good to see you. Sidle on up to the chat room and drop a few words, if you will. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, chat dirty.
All right, enough of that shit. That's enough of that.
All right, screw it.
Thank you for putting that on vinyl, though. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. I've been digging the vinyl lately. So, yeah, a lot of it coming up for tomorrow night's Red Eyes Reggae Flashback.
What a segue. What do you got going on?
I found some of my lost 45s. So
that's right.
I get to have, it's going to be all 7-inch records, 45 speed, the old school scratchy. 7 inches of scratch for you tomorrow night on Red Eyes Reggae Flashback.
Aerosmith always talked about a big 10-inch.
Yeah.
But really, when it comes to reggae, 7 inches is enough.
Yeah.
All right, we'll leave that one.
Actually, I've got a couple 10 inches. I played a 10-inch last week on the show. Yeah, Arcola and Murder.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I love it when you listen to this show, too, folks, because on some of these tracks, you will hear the scratch. You will hear the, of a vinyl. That's very cool.
Needle on vinyl. You can hear the static,
So,
anyway, busting chops.
I posted in the chat room my link to my Pinterest board, Radical Russ Data. And what usually happens is somebody will ask a question, or I'll be reading a blog post, or I'll see a story that makes my brain go, well, I wonder what the data say. And then I go look shit up. And then I find something that's really cool. So, the one I wanted to find, and I can't get it yet, is DUI stats for Washington State. That won't be the DUI stats I need, the before and after I-502.
Yeah,
not really going to be available for another year or so because of the delay in the reporting and all that.
Yeah, because we're just now in 2013 getting the 2011.
Right.
And, because they have to fudge the numbers before they can put it out to the public.
Well, something like that. But I did find some data while I was scouting around for that data. I did find this little piece of data that I really like. And
he was digging.
Yeah, let's see if I wish I could. How can I open these in their own window? That little uploaded to Pinterest thing keeps getting in the way. It pisses me off. All right. Anyway, let's see if I can throw this one up on the screen. This is a graph of Washington State traffic fatalities by month from 2008 to 2013. Or, as I like to call it, from 2008 through post I-502. Let me get these graphics out of the way, too. Here we go. All right, so the question would be, since we legalized pot in Washington State in November, have we seen more traffic fatalities? Because of all the stoned mayhem on the freeways, of course.
It's off.
Now, what I've done is I've shaded in black. Now, this is a month-by-month thing because you get more traffic fatalities in August than you do in January, right? Just because of seasonal driving and all that stuff. But this is 5 years worth of data on a month-by-month basis. Black representing 2008, decreasing in shades of gray till you get to 2012. And then those green bars, the green bars represent the traffic fatalities since I-502 has passed. Now, for those of you listening on podcast, obviously you can't see this. So I will describe to you a forest of black and gray bars, followed by green bars that are smaller or equal to the previous year, and a trend of continuing decline over the past 5 months since I-502 has passed.
Yep.
Now, that's not to say that passing 502 made less people die. There's all sorts of, things going on, variables that can, different weather, the major accidents, the safety procedures, etc., that can make a difference in your traffic fatality stats. But what I'm saying is, we haven't seen more deaths since I-502 passed, have we? Now, once we can get that DUI data, then we'll have ourselves a chart to talk about. Hey, we're going to take a little break, and, since we're talking about Washington and nanograms per milliliter, we're going to have to do something about that, I'm afraid.
Raise the limit.
What kind of hash do we got there?
Actually, I put a little bit of everything into this bowl, so...
Oh, it's Schmorgas hash.
The Schmorgas hash.
Be right back.
We'll be right back after these messages from our 420 friendly sponsors. Support these advertisers because their ad money goes straight to the Russ Belville Show. You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
I'm Sub Cool from Team Green Avenger. At TGAgenetics.com, we are working on the leading edge of medical strains. Our strains are rigorously tested for THC, CBD, THCV, and other critical cannabinoids. Know your grow. Check out our genetic diversity at TGAgenetics.com, the home of Jelly Bean, Jack the Ripper, Vortex, and other award-winning cannabis strains.
It takes me away. Said I'm tight with my money, so you best believe I do what I say.
When we say that, Peter Pan, you talk about that fire. Spark up, let's go.
Just keeping it real. Yeah. Said I'm tight with my money, so you best believe I do what I feel.
Welcome back. That's Oddballas with Peter Pan. I'm on that. Come back. Coming up at 8 o'clock tonight, a new episode of A Different View with Jen and Iva, and I don't know who their guest is. I think they were trying to get Lindsay Reinhardt on the show, so we'll see. But I'll ask during another break. Maybe we can find out. And coming up at 5 o'clock tonight, we've got yesterday's edition of the new Viper Hour. Bacon Dan and I sat down, and we watched 1949's movie, The Devil's Sleep.
Don't. Uh-oh.
That's better.
Okay, that's a little more dramatic.
There we go. So the Devil's Sleep. So we watched The Devil's Sleep, and okay, first of all, it's got a nice little. It's got a couple nice little 1940s girls in a gym kind of scene in it. So if you're
excellent.
If you're into that kind of time machine softcore stuff, there you go. But basically, it's the story. It's not about pot. It's about benzos, bennies,
the bennies,
and goofies.
And the goofies.
Barbiturates. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's all about pill poppers. So check that out. It's coming up at 5:00. Love watching those old 40s movies. All right, let me get back to Kevin Sabet and Project Sam. They've got 3 new posts up on the Sam page, and I had to satire all of them. But I wanted to just read to you Kevin's full, uncensored, unpaused, uninterrupted statement, just so you have an idea the level of human being we're working with. Are you ready? So get your
hip waders on.
Get your hip waders on. Have a handy herbal antiemetic handy. You shall need it.
I'm gonna have to reload this.
You better reload the hash. This was Kevin Sabet's official statement following the California Supreme Court ruling that yes, indeed, cities can zone dispensaries out of existence. Entire swaths of California are allowed now to just not allow any sort of safe access point for patients. Force them to either have to drive to the coast or to grow their own and risk, home invasion, and maybe some of them don't even have the ability to grow their own, or continue to participate in an unregulated and sometimes dangerous market. So, after that, this is Kevin Sabet's official statement. Are you ready? Okay. It is universally accepted that California's medical marijuana system is a sad joke. This unanimous decision by the California Supreme Court underscores the importance of localities ensuring what is best for their residents' safety. In many cases, medical marijuana dispensaries are, as one leader of the pro-marijuana movement put it once, little more than dope dealers with storefronts. Though we all want the sick and dying access to medications to ease their suffering, research has found that the average California medical marijuana card holder is a 32-year-old white male with no history of debilitating illness. Peer-reviewed, published research has also found that less than 2% of California cardholders have HIV, AIDS, cancer, or glaucoma. The California Supreme Court should be applauded for allowing localities to ban these cash-only stores, which are often magnets for robbery, murder, and disorder. Real medical marijuana would focus on non-smoked applications of the drug dispensed by pharmacies under the supervision of physicians, not self-described pot docs who sell recommendations for super silver haze for $100 a pop to anyone with a headache. End quote. All right.
Kev.
That's the attitude. Now, here's some things that I take issue with. Let me see if I can tackle each one of these. The one where he says that the California medical marijuana system is a sad joke. It's a sad joke. Here, now, there's 2 ways you can take this if you want to try to explain the sad joke. Here's the way I'd look at it. In Kevin Sabet's mind, he continues to bring up the point later on in his rant that less than 2% of California cardholders have HIV, AIDS, cancer, or glaucoma. That seems to tell me that he feels HIV, AIDS, cancer, or glaucoma would be legitimate reasons for using medical marijuana, or at least sympathetic reasons for using medical marijuana. At least. So, when he comes and says it's universally accepted that California's medical marijuana system is a sad joke, here's 2 ways the joke goes. There can be 2 possible people in this system, 2 possible consumers of the California medical marijuana system. A, somebody who's actually sick. Somebody who's sick, and marijuana actually helps them. That's one possibility. And he's already given me the inference here that HIV, AIDS, cancer, and glaucoma would fit in that category. People who are really sick and really getting a benefit from it. All right. Then there's B. B would be the people taking advantage of the California system, going to a pot doc and claiming a headache and getting a recommendation so that they can buy weed. Okay. That's what Kevin thinks the sad joke is that really it's just legalization, and the 32-year-old white males with no history of illness are just faking or gaming the system to get a recommendation so they can go shop at the pot stores and not get arrested for pot. All right, well, let's take a look at that. Let's start with A. If we presume that there are a non-zero number of California medical marijuana patients who are seriously getting relief from using that plant, then isn't it the height of cruelty to deny that to them? And how is it a sad joke for them when they can go to a pot doc, pay $40 to $100, and then be able to access something that brings them relief? How is that a sad joke? So it can't be a sad joke with respect to A. It can't be a sad joke with respect to the people who actually get benefit from them, some of whom it seems even Kevin Sabet believes are getting some genuine benefit from it. Now, he'll go on to talk about, well, the real medical marijuana, we should be FDA approved and pharmaceutical and non-smoked versions. He keeps getting around to the smoking, despite the fact a lot of these patients, the ones with cancer, glaucoma, HIV, AIDS, are using medibles, are using tinctures, are using vaporization. They're not smoking either. But he always wants to say non-smoking because that, conjures up the image of the pot smoker. Nevertheless, if we accept that there are these people who are seriously getting benefit from their medical use of cannabis, and we have a system that makes it easy for them to do so without getting punished, how is that a sad joke? So it can't be a sad joke for them. That makes no sense if you're, a person with any shred of empathy or compassion. So it's got to be a sad joke because of B. It's got to be a sad joke because of these people who are just faking it. Pot smokers, potheads, just pot smokers. People who, if they didn't have pot, they could still go on. Their lives would still continue. They don't got AIDS. They ain't got cancer. They got a little pain. So what? Got a little pain. Buck up. Get some Advil, right? The fakers. All right, well, let's work that through. If we accept that there are a number of people in the California medical marijuana system who are merely gaming it in order to not be arrested, let's take a look at what they've done. Previously, they were a pot smoker who did not pay any taxes on the pot that they bought, that did not know what kind of pot they were buying, who were contributing to an underground illicit economy that eventually, trace it far enough, leads to someone shooting and killing someone. And we didn't know who they were, and they had no interface with any sort of health authority whatsoever. That's what we had. And now, under the sad joke, we have people who go to a doctor. Now, okay, maybe it's, Doc in the Box on Venice Beach, right? But at least if they walked into that doctor with some serious, real serious condition, at least they'd have some interface with a doctor. But they at least go see somebody, even if it's for the tiniest shred of legitimate, oversight. It's more than they were getting when they were just smoking pot on the sly. And they've helped to create a job, for the doctor and for the people that work at the clinic and have to do all the staff and the records. And then he's going to a pot shop where they're checking an ID and checking to make sure there is a recommendation. And then he's perusing a variety of well-grown cannabis that is much more guaranteed in purity and lack of contaminants, and also creating jobs there. And the jobs there are contributing to the economy, and the marijuana is in a secured location and people aren't shooting each other over it. And we're also adding to the tax base of the locality. Man, I must be humor impaired. I don't see the sad joke in that either. I'm really having difficulty understanding how that's a sad joke. Even if you think California medical marijuana is just a doctor's permission slip to get high, isn't that better than the situation we had before when it was just a criminal's permission slip to get high? Oh, logic.
Well, I'd rather not have a permission slip to smoke.
I agree. Let's see what we can do about that. Happy 420, everyone. We'll be right back.
Oh, have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man. Have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man. If he said he swam to China, he would send you South Carolina. Then you know you're talking to that reefer man.
You know Herb Thrasher from the Herb Thrasher Flower Hour. Now get ready for Herb Age Designs for the proud cannabis consumer. Herb Age Designs, lifestyle gear for the 420 friendly. Herb Age Designs, home of the famous lighter leash. Herb Age Designs, get your Herb Age t-shirts and hoodies and show your pride. Herb Age Designs, we've got Frisbee golf discs and durable hemp gear. Herb Age Designs, we've got shot glasses, drinking glasses, coffee mugs, and beer cozies. Check us out on Facebook and online at herbagedesigns.com. And follow Herb Age and Herb Thrasher on Twitter. We'll see you at this year's Hemp Fest. Crank it up.
Hey everybody, welcome. It's Danny Danko from High Times Magazine, and I'm here with Mr. Kyle Cushman, and we're talking about integrated pest management. Now Kyle, I see you're using these yellow sticky traps. What's the purpose of those?
It is just a good part of routine IPM, integrated pest management, along with neem oil, regular spraying of neem oil every second or third day. And it's just good to keep down, to prevent an infestation before it happens. Okay. So it's kind of like that canary in the coal mine thing, where it'll let you know ahead of time by seeing how many bugs there if you need to employ something stronger, if you're going to need to use biological controls or some chemical insecticides.
Wow, cool. And also I'd like people to know the reason these sticky traps are yellow is that the bugs are attracted to that color. It's the color of a dying leaf, which makes a welcome home for them. So always remove any yellowing leaves so as not to create a home for pests.
Yes, yellow or mottled leaves, go away.
All right, well thank you very much, Kyle, and this has been a lesson in integrated pest management.
You'll hear other rock like that on the Herb Thrasher Flower Hour every Friday night. 2 hours of rock and metal, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific time. Featuring Metal Blade records, Small Stone records, all sorts of great, there's a whole bunch of Nuclear Blast records is another one of them. We got all sorts of great unreleased, unheard, new, brand new, up-and-coming metal and rock for you every Friday night. Check it out. Herb Thrasher Flower Hour. Welcome back to Toker Talk Radio. It is 24 after the hour. We're hanging out here with Brian the Red.
Hey, hey.
Enjoying some hash.
Always.
And some Rockstar for me. I'm back on the Rockstar.
Oh, Russ.
Yeah. It's been some tough times. But, the sleep isn't working like it used to. Need some Rockstar. But I did want to come back and do something cute and funny before we went back into the ranting. Because the whole blood pressure thing, right? You got to make sure, I don't keel over here on cam. Although it'd be awesome for ratings, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I found this. This is a cute little pin from College Humor that describe the different drugs, right? So it starts off with marijuana. I want to relax and unwind for a while. Salvia. I want to relax and unwind for like 30 seconds. Crystal meth. I want to get these bees out of my teeth. Tobacco. I like going outside and standing by myself every 2 hours.
There you go.
Alcohol. I want to get fucked up. Acid. I want to see something fucked up. Ecstasy. I want to fuck.
Yeah.
Cocaine. I'm going to get everything done forever. Heroin. I'm just trying to get more heroin. Opium. I'm just trying to cope with the drastically shifting economic landscape brought on by the rise of British industrialization.
Like you're only smoking opium.
So there you go. I thought that was fun. That's on that's another board I've got on Pinterest called LLOL, literally laughed out loud.
Haha.
So you can check out that board. But I wanted to get, where is it? Let's see. I got so much on these boards. But there was another chart that I do quite often that I wanted to share. And this one is the danger of drugs. This is a chart I made a while back for my big book of marijuana facts, which maybe someday I'll do again, but I don't know. Anyway, what we're rating here is therapeutic ratio. And therapeutic ratio is the difference between the effective dose and the lethal dose. Okay? Let me get down here where it's written here. Ratio of effective dose to lethal dose. So, for example, alcohol is a 1 to 10 therapeutic ratio. That means 1 unit will be effective, get you buzzed, and 10 units will kill you. And that's on a 50-50 basis, right? Like when the math and the stats behind it really mean half of the individuals who consume this much will die. Okay. So, everybody's different, right? But basically it's kind of saying if 2 shots will get you buzzed, 20 shots will kill you. That's a therapeutic ratio of 1 to 10. And that's what you get here for alcohol. And then what we've done here is I've rated other drugs like meth. Everybody says how dangerous meth is, but its therapeutic ratio is 1 to 10 as well. 1 dose will get you buzzed, 10 will kill you. Problem is 1 dose is sometimes a line and another dose is sometimes a rail. And it's kind of hard to measure and tell sometimes. Methadone is a 1 to 20. Tobacco, a 1 to 21. And that's not really accurate because this is talking about like pure nicotine and you're not really getting pure nicotine. So it's not tobacco. That's why there's an asterisk there. It doesn't really fit very well. Mescaline's a 1 to 24. Caffeine's a 1 to 50. DMT, Prozac's 1 to 100. And then when you get to the very top, cannabis is a 1 to 20,000.
20,000.
If 1 dose of cannabis will get you high, 20,000 doses is what it'll take to kill you. Now, that's not even really a therapeutic ratio because it's practically impossible. You really can't do it.
I would be willing to try.
You'd have to be mainlining mass amounts of THC to pull this off, like into the vein. You couldn't smoke
oil right to the vein. I don't know.
You couldn't smoke enough. There's no way you could smoke enough. You'd die of the carbon monoxide. You'd die of the smoke more than you'd die of the...
Well, not if you vaped.
It's true.
Or you dabbed.
But anyway, here's the list of these drugs. And then what I've done with this is also color-coded them according to the DEA drug schedules. So the green drugs are the ones that are over-the-counter. Anyone can buy them.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow are Schedule 4 and 5. These are prescribable. Your doctor can prescribe these. These include things like cough syrup and Xanax, Ambien, that kind of stuff.
Barbiturates.
Schedule 2 and 3 drugs are prescribable drugs. Any doctor can prescribe them to you, but they're very dangerous. This can include, things like OxyContin is a Schedule 2.
Things that have a high risk of dependency.
There you go.
Is usually Schedule 2.
Right. 4 and 5, you're not likely to get dependent. 2 or 3, you are.
Yes.
And then Schedule 1, of course, are all the dangerous and illegal drugs.
They're so bad.
No medical value whatsoever.
It's going to kill you the first time you ever try it.
But what's interesting as you look down the graph in the color coding, the danger has nothing to do with the therapeutic ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Completely safe drugs, 1 to 150. Completely safe drug, 1 to 10. Or 1 to 8 in the case of isobutyl nitrate. That's poppers.
Yeah.
Right? That can kill you, right? Super dangerous drugs, heroin and GHB, and cannabis, psilocybin, and LSD that can't possibly kill you. Mm-hmm. So there's no correlation in the color coding of danger versus the escalating toxicity of the drug. So this is another one of the charts that's available at my Pinterest site, if you want to check any of those out. But this is what gets frustrating about doing drug policy reform is you can have all the science, data, logic, facts on your side, but sometimes it doesn't even matter because that's really not, if that were the case, these laws wouldn't exist in the first place. Now, another good chart managed to pick up. These came from Mother Jones, and it had to do with the stop and frisks. We've been talking about this phenomenon in New York City, where, in New York, weed is decriminalized. You can have up to an ounce on it, and it's just a ticket. Uh-huh. But weed in public view is a misdemeanor, and you can be arrested and thrown in the jail for it. So what the cops do is when they stop someone, they frisk them, and when they feel what feels like a bag of weed or a blunt or a joint, they say, hey, empty your pockets. And what kid's not going to empty his pockets when a cop tells them? And as soon as they do, bam, that's public view, misdemeanor, arrest the kid. So check this out. This is from Mother Jones Magazine, and it shows us just how well stop and frisk worked. So this big circle over on the left represents the black people who were stopped and frisked. The middle circle is the Hispanics who were stopped and frisked. And the white circle, or the small circle, are the whites who were stopped and frisked. Now, those are into relative size compared to how often they're stopped and frisked. So you can tell right away, blacks and Hispanics are more often stopped and frisked, a lot more of them. Then, what were seized? Guns is this little yellow dot. Drugs, the blue dot. Other weapons, knives and stuff, the green dot. And you can compare the size of those compared to the populations that were stopped and frisked. And the thing you see here is, proportionally speaking, more drugs were seized from white people in stop and frisks than from black people. More weapons were seized from white people than from black people. In fact, there were 143 stops for every seizure of something illicit. That is, 142 black kids got shaken down, got stopped and frisked. 142 black kids stopped and frisked to find one black kid with a gun, some drugs, or a weapon. There were 99 Hispanic kids stopped. 98 of them stopped for every one that they could find with something illegal on them. But when it came to the white kids, 1 out of 27 had something on them. So how is it that we're disproportionately stopping the black and Hispanic kids when it looks like the white kids are the ones that are causing more problems, carrying more drugs, carrying more weapons? Interesting how this data works out, isn't it? There was another piece of data, too, that I wanted to bring up from that Mother Jones. As soon as my board will come back here, that I found interesting, and that was, of course, the stops by race. There you go. 52% of the people stop and frisked, black, 31% Hispanic, 10% white. This is what the war on drugs brings us, folks, is it brings us a profit motive to go after as many people as possible, to arrest as many people as possible, to make sure those prisons have their 80 or 90% occupancy rate as guaranteed in the private contract to the private prison industry. This is the kind of world that the drug war has brought us. All right, I wanted to bring you the Sam statement as well on, President Obama recently said no to legalizing drugs. Yeah, he was speaking in Mexico City, and he said, quote, "I've been asked, and I honestly do not believe that legalizing drugs is the answer," the president said. "But I do believe that a comprehensive approach, not just law enforcement, but education and prevention and treatment, that's what we have to do. We're going to have to stay at it because the lives of our children and our futures of our nations depend on it. End quote. Now, I've satirized that over at Project Samuel. And, of course, when I'm it's not President Obama over there. I call him President Choom.
Yes, Barry Schumer. That's our...
So from President Choom, here's his statement. I've been asked about marijuana, and I honestly do not believe that legalizing drugs is the answer, the president said, even though nobody asked him about drugs other than marijuana. But I do believe that a comprehensive approach, not just stopping and frisking young black men, but propaganda and pulling weeds and forcing potheads to pee in a cup under the threat of jail, that's what we have to do. We're going to have to stay at it because the lives of our Adderall-medicated children and the futures of our beer-soaked nations depend on it. End quote. So thank you, President Choom, for a statement.
Choomy choom choom.
And that's not the end of the Project Sam stuff. There's one more. There's new research out of Temple University on THC versus HIV/AIDS. It's amazing the dance Kevin Sabet has to do to try to approve medical use of a synthetic while denying the medical use of the natural. I'll show y'all it. Come back.
You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
Marijuana and alcohol are the two most popular recreational drugs in America. Marijuana smoking is non-toxic, relatively safe, and has a low risk of dependence. Alcohol drinking is potentially fatal, dangerous to society, and is quite addictive. Marijuana is safer, so why are we driving people to drink? That's the question of the new book, Marijuana is Safer, So Why Are We Driving People to Drink? By Paul Armentano, Mason Tvert, and Steve Fox. Visit Amazon.com or ChelseaGreen.com today to order your copy of Marijuana is Safer, or visit
This is crack, rock cocaine. It isn't glamorous or cool or kid stuff. It's the most addictive kind of cocaine, and it can kill you. What's really bad is nobody knows how much it takes. So every time you use it, you risk dying. It isn't worth it. Look, everybody wants to be cool, but doing it with crack isn't just wrong. It could be dead wrong.
Big Daddy Think.
Funky roller ring.
Oh yeah, this is Big Daddy, and I'll be your freakazoid every Thursday night, right here at the Funky Roller Ring.
Funky Roller Ring.
11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, only on RadicalRuss.com.
Plant your seed and let it grow. You reap just what you sow. For those who want to know, I'm a conscious farmer.
That's Kev with Conscious Farmer. She's always better than an unconscious farmer. They tend to run over things with the tractor. Welcome back. It's Toker Talk Radio. Hanging out, having a good time, picking on Kevin Sabet because, well, he deserves it. So the latest one, and I think we did this story in the news as well, is research out of Temple University. And this research showed that a synthetic derivative of THC was successful in preventing 90% of HIV strains from inhabiting the macrophages, which is a major hiding place for the virus while it, grows in your body, apparently. And that this may herald the promise of new HIV treatments that could possibly prevent, be a vaccine against HIV. Major development from a synthetic THC. Now, of course, our side, us, the well-funded drug legalization lobby, we trumpeted this in all of our, Twitter accounts and Facebooks and blogs and all. Again, look, see, medical value.
Look,
hello.
Once again.
Hello.
How many times,
So the Project Sam, Kevin Sabet, of course, they have to have a statement on this. And anytime there's a good news statement that'll come out, anything good about pot, he's got to find a way to spin it bad, right? Like the most recent one was the Fox News poll that came out and said that 85% of people support medical marijuana. Fox News poll.
Yeah, Fox.
Said 85% of the people support medical marijuana. The tweet that came out of Project Sam was, only 30% of people believe people are really using medical marijuana for medical reasons. Or something like that, right? Which was another part of the poll.
It's like, don't care.
Which, it's like, okay, Kevin, so most people think that medical marijuana is a fake, and still they support it at 85%? Okay. Yeah, you got us there.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. Oh, no.
So I wanted to get to this one on Temple University because of this research, because the way he has to bend over and twist to support, because he's got to play this as, can't be anti-compassionate. Because we've beat the hell out of the drug warriors by showing them people in wheelchairs, people with, MS, people with serious disorders. And then we show what happens when they smoke cannabis or use cannabis in whatever way they choose. And they have remarkable recoveries and symptom management. Really hard to counteract that. Hard to get people not to believe their own eyes when they see it. So he's got to play this. He's got to do this dance where, yes, of course I'm compassionate for patients. And I'm so compassionate for patients that I would never give them something like a crude smoked plant. I would give them a well-researched pharmaceutical medication that's approved safe by the FDA, right? So he has to be on that side. So he has to deny that people could get a medical benefit from the natural plant, but at the same time champion the idea that stuff from the natural plant could be a miracle medicine. It can't be any good if you're using it as a natural plant. But if a pharmaceutical company made it into a pill, my God, it would be the next coming of Christ. All right, so let me read you his statement. This is so fun. Project SAM, Smart Approaches to Marijuana, applauds Temple University's Center for Substance Abuse Research, ZAR. They don't even try to hide it, do they? For their discovery into the potential medicinal benefits of synthetic derivatives of marijuana for HIV/AIDS patients. SAM, a marijuana policy initiative based on public health, promotes research on marijuana to obtain FDA-approved pharmacy-dispensed cannabis-based medications that are non-smoked. SAM also supports the development of a program to expedite such research and offer non-smoked marijuana extracts to the seriously ill without compromising our citizens' health with the current medical marijuana industry. To engage in public information campaigns focused on the scientific data, we need to be precise about what the research finds. While this is a tremendous breakthrough in the HIV/AIDS pandemic that may allow many HIV patients to live longer, these benefits were found in synthetic derivatives of THC, not in THC extracted from a marijuana plant directly, explained Servio H. Ramirez, a professor at the Temple University School of Medicine. While we know marijuana has medicinal properties, we must continue to invest in and research. We should not smoke the plant to derive those benefits, just as we do not smoke opium to get the benefits of morphine. That tired old opium morphine analogy. All right, let me tackle that first. He keeps coming back with this thing of, we shouldn't let people smoke natural marijuana because we don't let people smoke natural opium. Well, why would people have smoked natural opium? two reasons: to get high or for pain relief. Okay. So we don't let people use the opium for pain relief because we have morphine for those people, right? Oh, okay. So if we're not going to let the marijuana patients smoke the marijuana, what is it we're going to give them, Kevin? Where's the morphine of marijuana? It's not the Marinol pill. It's not Sativex yet. So these people that are currently using marijuana, and even if I grant you that possibly maybe synthesizing it at some point and isolating it might make it more effective or more targeted, that doesn't exist yet. And I know you keep talking about let's have an expedited research for these people. These people are dying and suffering. Go ahead and do the research. Until you're done with that, why can't they smoke now? Even if you really believe that the natural plant is giving them less benefit, because you agree that it gives them benefit, right? Up here I see what you're reading, what you've written here, that there's medical benefits. You've said it many times. Even if it's a lesser medical benefit, why not at least let them have that until you have the miracle, magical, patentable 25,000% markup pill? Why would you force people that are currently getting benefit to suffer? Oh, yes, I know. Because the current medical marijuana system is a sad joke where people who just want to get high can get high. Oh, that to me says we have to let the cancer patient suffer so that we stop the person, or so that we can maintain the ability to arrest the joint smoker. It's so important that we arrest the joint smoker that it's okay to allow really sick people to suffer and to put roadblocks in their way, like Supreme Court decisions that say they can't get access to their medicine. It's okay to continue to discriminate against them by, like in Arizona, saying essentially none of them can drive because marijuana metabolites make them too impaired to drive. It's okay to go ahead and treat people like second-class citizens, to not hire them, to fire brain cancer patients from their Walmart jobs in Michigan. That's okay. That's okay. As long as we maintain the ability to arrest a healthy person smoking pot. And so much of this that I go over day after day, and you see it in the Sam stuff, and I saw it in the Matthew Perry stuff I did earlier. We want to make sure that we can help people recover from the stigma of a marijuana arrest or a drug arrest. We want to erase the stigma. We want to make sure that we don't stop people who are in recovery from being able to get jobs or education because of the stigma. Well, what is the stigma? The stigma is that people who use certain drugs are criminals. That's the stigma. We don't see stigma from Matthew Perry trying to get help for his addictions. He's proud to come out. He's fine with being open and honest about it because he was addicted to prescription painkillers and legal alcohol. You can bet if Matthew Perry were strung out on heroin or cranked out on meth, maybe he doesn't have the clean-cut image. Maybe he doesn't get another sitcom deal. Maybe he doesn't get to do another movie. Yeah. Unless you're Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. is the exception to any of those rules. Robert Downey Jr. can do anything he freaking wants and still have a career. But you get my point here? You get where I'm going with this? The stigma is the illegality. If you want to stop the stigma, stop the illegality. I can't say anything better than Peter Christ. We're not going to solve our drug problem, but we'll solve our prohibition problem. No matter what we do, there will be people with drug problems. The question is how much more problems should we make their life because of it, and how much more problems should the rest of our lives be from not dealing with it in an honest and rational adult fashion? That's what gets so frustrating about this argument. And to see Kevin Sabet here dancing around the idea that, oh, well, it's a synthetic derivative of THC. Oh, so the THC itself is something that you are managing to pull something good from. Doesn't that tell us there's something good about THC itself? How can a natural product be Schedule 1, but its concentrated synthetic version Schedule 3? Doesn't make sense, people.
Physics don't make sense. Why should their logic?
It's simply business, you know why they won't let us grow. It's simply business.
We'll be right back after these messages from our 420 friendly sponsors. Support these advertisers because their ad money goes straight to the Russ Belville Show. You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
It's simply business. It's simply business. It's simply business, you know why they won't let us grow. It's simply business. It's simply business, you know why they won't let us grow. It's simply business.
Who is it?
It's me, Dave. Open up, man. I got the stuff.
Who is it?
It's me, Dave, man. Open up. I got the stuff.
Who?
It's Dave, man. Open up. I think the cops saw me come in here.
Who is it?
It's Dave, man. Will you open up? I got the stuff with me.
Who?
Dave, man. Open up.
Dave?
Yeah, Dave. Come on, man. Open up. I think the cops saw me.
Dave's not here.
Open up the door. It's Dave.
Who?
Dave. D-A-V-E. Will you open up the goddamn door? Yeah, Dave.
Dave?
Right, man. Dave. Now, will you open up the door?
Dave's not here.
Oh.
Take a hit of the camp, hop on it, baby. Take a hit of the camp, hop, man. Take a hit of the camp, hop, I'll make it. I'll make it from an aluminum can. Take a hit of the camp, hop, Presidente, cause I make it for free. Safety pin on my shoelace, just in case I run into a friend in need. Take a hit of the camp, hop on it, baby. Take a hit of the camp, hop, man. Take a hit of the camp, I'll make it. I'll make it from an aluminum can.
All right, so that's Super Suckers with Can Pipe, and Brian the Red has secretly touched on one of my phobias.
I have found some of his kryptonite, but we will not go into it.
No, we'll go into it. What the hell? I'm pretty open with my audience. There's two things. There's two things in the animal kingdom that I do not like.
I'm going to send you the link so that you can show.
Oh, thank you.
Show our public here.
Freaky fucking thing. But they're not the usual suspects. Most people got problems with snakes or spiders or
creepy
whatever.
crawly
right.
thing.
No. I got two. Number one, monkeys.
You're not a fan?
I do not like monkeys. The
little
more,
monkeys, big monkeys?
The less human looking, the better. I like the little ones, the really long tail, lemur looking ones with big eyes and stuff. That's fine. Chimps, orangutans, apes, anything
human looking one.
Anything with human ears and human hands, I don't want it around me. I don't want to. Here's my thing. I think they're jealous. I think they're plotting. I think Return of the Planet. I think Planet of the Apes series is
closer than we think.
Is apocalyptic prophecy to me.
Oh, man.
Because I think they look at they look around. They're like, shit.
Why didn't we do this?
Why didn't we get the opposable thumbs? Damn it! Why didn't we get the big cranium? Oh, those humans. They just wait 50,000 years. We'll show them.
That's why they keep throwing their shit at us.
Could be.
No.
So I don't like the monkeys. Never liked the monkeys. And the other thing
what
I don't
about their
like,
songs? No, anyway.
Okay, I didn't like either monkeys for that matter. Thank you for the emphasis.
I didn't like them either. My mom watched them.
And here's the other thing I don't like. And I'll get it on the camera here since you did send me this. Is moths. I don't like moths.
This is apparently a Venezuelan poodle moth.
Sure is.
And One of the little quote things here is that a Pokemon? Yeah,
I don't like moths.
Baby, I don't know.
Moths are disgusting. And
somebody else wrote, "I wish it had remained unknown." I guess that's what Russ there.
Do you know how you can tell when a moth farts? It flies in a straight line. Oh. No, I know, old joke.
That's a good one.
Thank you. But I don't like moths. I never liked them ever since I was a kid.
This thing's so cute, though. It's not even moth-like. And look how big it is. It's more like a pet.
It's evil, and it should be stamped on.
It looks like it should be sitting on one of your shoulders, and a bat should be sitting on your other shoulder.
Nope.
It's like.
And I actually like bats. Bats are okay.
Yeah. Well, you like bats and snakes and spiders.
Got no problem with snakes, spiders, scorpions, any of that.
The creepy crawly things are okay. It's the little fluffy fluttery things
moths,
that get it.
Don't like them.
Butterflies.
Dirty, dusty, creepy, freaking things. Hate them. Hate them.
This one doesn't look dirty.
I don't like them.
Okay.
All right, so we got that.
Moving on.
Now we know. Russ doesn't like moths. Film at 11. Oh my God! But so there was another. Oh gosh, where was that? There's a. I'm in negotiations right now.
Maybe it's things that start with an M and an O.
Moths, monkeys. Maybe monsters. But anyway, I'm in negotiations with the individuals. We played one of their tunes off of CDXX, the marijuana music tune, the 420 Situations. We had Ando the Don on the show. Now, and we're just talking about this in Twitter right now. And we're possibly going to do an album listening party.
Oh, nice.
Play their whole album, have them on live to talk in between the tracks, about what this track, that track, and so on. Maybe give away a few albums.
Hey.
So I'll keep you posted on if that's going to happen. But I think that would be a lot of fun.
All in association in anticipation of the upcoming Normal tour.
Yes.
So.
Oh, speaking of the F and Normal tour, I got another tour date, Tempe, Arizona.
Tempe
in mid-June, because, I won't be near baked enough.
Yeah.
I need to go to Tempe in June. Wow. But we're going to start in Dallas. We've got a phone call tomorrow. I'm doing a morning phone call tomorrow to finalize some of the dates. But I know so far, first weekend Dallas, second weekend Albuquerque, third weekend Tempe. So it looks like we're heading westward, which is good for me. That's the way I need to go. So we'll keep you posted on that. The F and Normal tour with DFW Normal, Dallas Fort Worth Normal. Definitely check that out. And let's see if I can find that other. I can't find the other thing. Oh! There was a drug test case. I don't know I don't know if I even got to this in the rant yesterday or not. But I can't leave without talking about this. This was from the Casa Grande Dispatch, Florence Unified School District, and I don't know where the dispatch is at. Let me see if I can. Florence, Coolidge, Maricopa. Okay, so it's Arizona. All right, Maricopa County. They're in Arizona, right? All right, so this school district, Florence Unified School District, reports that 99% of its random drug tests of high school athletes have been negative. And so they're cheering this. Mm-hmm. Drug testing shows little use by students. Like, the idea here is, well, since we started this drug testing, all these kids have stopped using drugs. Right. Sure. Let me get to this. Basically, they did 407 drug tests over the past, since 2008. 3 came back negative. 2 of them were for pot. Okay.
3 came back positive?
3 out of 407.
Yeah, you said negative. 3 came back positive.
Positive. Right. All right. This means they spent $15,873 over 4 years to kick 3 pot smokers off the team.
Ooh.
$15,000. And I just want to know, how old are your textbooks? How well the kids taken care of there as far as everything else? Because apparently you got enough money to have an ineffective drug testing program that all you've proven is that the kids that smoke pot won't try out now.
This is the Russ Belville Show. The Russ Belville Show is blogging and podcasting daily at radicalruss.com.
That's That's all the time we got for today. Thanks for joining us. For Brian the Red, I'm Radical Russ. Stay tuned for new Viper Hour, The Devil's Sleep from 1949. And until next time, take care of each other, tokers.
Trying to roll it, smoke it, and it goes down smooth. Hey!